Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Terrick El Guindy with the Mr. Olympia. Today, we have three of the great up-and-coming athletes going into the Mr. Olympia. Mohammed Shaaban placed second at the Cal Pro, and then he went to Toronto, was a little bit better on his conditioning, and conquered his qualification. He's here with us on the live with Yamamoto team. Mohammed, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
Thank you, Mohammed. Looking great. With you can see the face is kind of thinning out. So, and then
Yeah, it's tired.
I guess everybody is tired. Also with us, he's a former light heavy Mr. USA's. He's from Nevada. He's going to be in Reno, driving down to the Mr. Olympia. He placed third at the Cal Pro, and then he went to the Legion Sports Festival, and he was able to conquer his qualification. Tonio Burton, how are you, Tonio?
I'm good. Thank you.
And also with us, he's a national champion. He's also the Cal Pro champion. Charles, the definition Griffen. How are you, Charles?
I'm all good. How everybody doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, brother?
And with us, the iconic, possibly, according to Ronnie Coleman, I love to drop his name here, the most genetically gifted bodybuilder ever, four-time Arnold Classic champion, Hall of Famer, and former Mr. USA's as well, 1992, Flex Wheeler. How are you, Flex?
I'm doing good, man.
I told you he's ready.
Flex is ready to go, ready to rock. Now, guys,
let's get it in. Let's go. Come on, where you want it? Let's point it at you right now, Terry. Close your mouth.
As a judge, we have a procedure when those people come with a gun with us. Charles, I'm going to start with you. I remember you competing as an amateur. You always had aggressive attitude on stage. And when you were competing at the USA's against Gerald Williams and Cody Montgomery, you placed third. And after the awards, you looked at all of us judges and you said, I'll see you guys in Miami. And you went to Miami and you won your pro card. Talk to me about this Charles Griffen swagger. Every time I know and I see Charles Griffen on a competitor's list, I know it's not going to be a boring show. The definition is coming, and he's not there to make friends.
Not at all. Like, man, that's just me. You know what I mean? Like I said, this sport bodybuilding saved my life. You know what I mean? It saved my life after my mom passed. I fell off the deep end. I'm talking about fell off the deep end very bad. So this sport saved my life. So every time on the stage, I'm just passionate about it. You know what I mean? I want this. I work out. I train every day for this. So when I'm on that stage, I got those couple minutes on the stage, I'm going to let it all out. So I'm just very passionate on the stage when it comes to that. So that's where that swagger comes out, that aggressiveness, that I'm ready to get it. I'm ready to battle. This sport has done so much for me. When I'm on that stage, I just let it all out. That's what it is.
Wow. That's an incredible story, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Charles. My mom passed away 2012, and I just I'm talking about I've got like over $100-some thousand. I spent all that on drugs, partying, alcohol, and I was just coked out, mollied out, riding my motorcycle 150 miles an hour, just not caring about life. You know what I mean? Not caring about life at all. And I just woke up one day like I got to do better. And I started trying to train for bodybuilding in 2014, and I won my first show, and it was like that was the first time I had true happiness in my life. And after that, it's like I'm going 100 miles per hour in this bodybuilding, and whenever I'm on that stage, it just comes out. You know what I mean? So, like I always like to say, my mom gave her life to give me life.
Amen. Wow, that's incredible.
Sorry for what you lost, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this, because a lot of people talk about bodybuilding, and sometimes they forget the great things that bodybuilding does for the human being, right? It's not only about competing, but it's about finding a certain regimen to your life that keeps you disciplined. You know, you're not going to go on a bodybuilding stage and be successful if you're drinking every night, if you're doing drugs. So it kind of saves you from that kind of environment, correct?
Oh, 100% it saved me from that. Because like when my mom was here, that's all I did was party, drink, alcohol. That's all I did. And she came out here to visit us in Minnesota. I didn't see her for a whole year. And she passed away out here in Minnesota. And I usually go with my boys or go with this female. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay here and chill with my mom. So I got to spend the last 6 days with her before she passed away out here in Minnesota with me. So it's like I owe her that to, I used to inspire people to pop mollies and do drugs. Now I get messages daily, I'm inspiring them in other ways, and I'm winning, man. You know what I mean? I'm winning. If I never won a show again, or if I never went to Olympia, I'm winning in life.
You're already winning.
I'm happy right now. So that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sure she's very proud of you. Flex, you've seen a lot of competitors, and all of us at a certain point in our lives, we have our demons and we have things that we need help with, right? What's your experience in the bodybuilding world with, sometimes dealing with those issues and recovering?
Yeah, so I mean, it's not just our sport; it's the world, right? All of us go through things. All of us go through challenges. Life deals us lemons. For me, my thing now is trying to take whatever life deals me, whatever lemons that life deals me, trying to make lemonade out of them and serve them sweet for the younger generation, so they don't have to go through and make the mistakes that I did. But Charles, I'm a nickname you CG. Yeah, because that's your nickname there, CG. So, man, thank you so much for sharing. It's an honor to meet you and to hear your story. Yeah, man, sometimes we just need something to help ricochet us in the right direction, right? Yeah. And so what you're doing now, I'm sure, is giving so many people purpose. One of the things, Terrick, and thanks for giving me the floor to talk about this. One of the things is we're not aware of the people who are looking at us and who we may inspire. So because of you, I can't inspire people that come from your world and done what you've done, because I never done those things, right? I got my hangups, trust me, everybody knows them. But what you can do is you can inspire so many young men and women who've been going through what you've been going through, man. And I encourage you to continue sharing your story, being very open and transparent about it, because the true strength of a man is being vulnerable and showing their feelings, not being hard, acting like they all about it, because you're truly not. Like the OGs in prison saying, man, if you want to be really gangster, stay out of trouble and take care of your family. That's OG shit. That's gangster shit right there.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations, Charles. I've known you for a long time. It's nice to see you at the Mr. Olympia. I went to shoot with Blessing Awadibu in Florida, and I told them, listen, I know Charles.
When you say shoot, what do you mean?
I meant film.
Oh, sorry.
No. Yeah, he corrected now.
I'm like, I want to shoot.
I went to film with Blessing Awadibu, and I said, listen, once you step on that stage, that guy, Charles Griffen, is no joke. He's coming after you. So I can't wait to see you guys battle it out again. And it's going to be like an individual battle, because whoever places ahead of the other, people are going to be talking about it, correct?
Correct. So, yeah, I'm not even, what I'm not going to do is I'm not even going to give that any of my energy. You know what I mean? I got 29 days to bring my best physique ever, and I'm going to see where the chips lay at. And I'm not even going to give that do my energy right now, because I got so much good stuff going in my life. That WWE stuff. I'm about to bodybuild. I'm coming out here. I'm eating my meals. I'm bodybuilding. I'm training, and all of us is doing that. And I'm gonna leave it out there on the stage, man. So I'm not even going to do that WWE back and forth stuff, man. We all grinding. We all doing the work. And you know what I mean? The chips gonna fall where they fall, but my chips gonna fall ahead. But
you know what, CG? I applaud you on that, because why focus on something that you have absolutely no control over
at all?
I mean, the truth is, right? The truth is, we have very, very little control over ourselves.
Yeah.
If that was the case, if we have full control over ourselves, we wouldn't cuss, we wouldn't get angry, we wouldn't mistreat people, right? So we have very minimal control over our own actions. Why would you ever focus on something else that you absolutely have absolute no control over? So I commend you on that. I don't get fear. I never feared anybody in a gym. I didn't care about what they looked like in a gym. I didn't go for that talk. I was more about like, hey, let's handle business on stage. If you're really about that talk, we go somewhere else and nobody can stop us. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I'm from.
I feel it's wasted the time. I waste my time. I waste my energy. I can use this for something different.
Like where I'm from, if we got a problem like that, we gonna squabble or we gonna do something. So all that stuff like that, like Antonio at Shaaban at the Cal Pro, I'm battling against Shaaban. We're going against it, but it's total respect.
Yeah, 100%.
When I won that first place, Shaaban was smiling, Antonio was smiling. It's that mutual respect. Like when we're that with blessing and everything, there's a lot of negative going on. Like
because I think
it was all love.
Yeah, I think people need to be careful about, because we're all from different demographic and backgrounds, right? Some of us, our lifestyles and our upbringing is a little harsher than others, right? So like yourself, CG, I come from an area, if you holler at somebody, expect for them to come with them hands. They're not going to come and say nothing to you because you should already know. You already put out the atmosphere. So, there's nothing wrong with wanting to beat everybody, right? Yeah. I think a true champion have to understand everybody on that stage wants to take you out. What's disrespectful about that? What's so bad about another man trying to better themselves? But that talking, I never really got that. I mean, back in my days, I took it very personal.
After I beat Shaaban and we talked this and that, what he said was, I get my round 2 at the Olympia. That's nothing but respect right there, because he wants to beat me. I want to beat him. I get my round 2 at the Olympia, but it's all love and it's all respect. We're not
of course
about each other. We're not coming at each other like that, because that's not needed. We all doing the work. So that's what it's all about, man.
And this is what we need to show for the sport, because we need to show people we all is like family and we all together, and we just on stage to fight. That's by work. Like if I work hard, I deserve. If Charles work hard, he deserve.
Right.
Yeah, I don't hold it against the guys who want to do that type of talk. I understand what they're trying to do. I'm just not from that world. We're not an entertainment world like the WWE and all that stuff. Now those guys are true athletes. I wouldn't dare be able to do what those guys do. 290 pounds, flipping off of turnstiles, and you got to be a true athlete to do that. But our sport is a birth of everything else. Listen, I don't have to go wrestle to be a better bodybuilder. They got to come to my world though, right? To be an actor, to be a sprinter, baseball, football, or just to get in better shape. I don't got to go to nobody's world, but they all got to come to my world to get better. So why would I want to emulate anything any other sport does when our sport is the birth of everything, not to mention just overall good health? You got to come to our world to get that. We didn't got to emulate nobody else. Our sport is a true. Our sport is a true. So I commend you on that, gentlemen. Everybody just wants to win. There's no reason to take it personal and to say, well, this guy looked like crap or whatever. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I don't feel you should have beat me. Why should I feel that way? Right? Hey, I'm coming at you next time. But to take it personal and start slanging dirt at somebody, come on, man. They might want to holler back at you. But anyway, we can shift gears and keep it moving, Terrick. But I commend you on that, Charles.
No, absolutely. Charles is a phenomenal competitor. One of the cool things is that I saw a lot of these guys as amateurs, and now I see them as pros, and it gives me great satisfaction. Mohammed, I want to go with you because you placed second at the Cal Pro, and then you went to Toronto and you conquered your qualification in Toronto at the Toronto Pro Show. And most of the talk was that it was a relatively easy victory, that you won quite convincingly that event. You were a little bit tighter. Talk to me about what you did between the Cal Pro and the Toronto Pro.
Just after we finished already Cal Pro, I look at Charles. I look how he looked good. He deserved to win, but I look for also what I missed at this at this moment. Like what I miss it, I feel like I need to be little tired. I have the round, I have the size, I have everything, but just like judge said, I need to be little bit tighter, and I work hard for this week. Like I work in my core, I work like in my shape. I just like push more hard because I need to be in the Olympia stage. I need to like I don't waste my time to for I deserve to win or something or I should win or why I don't. No, I don't waste my time for that. I just push very hard for this week and I look for the next step and I go and I win.
So, it's interesting, Flex. I want to ask you a question because Mohammed Shaaban has some of the best flaring quads. He's round and he gets very lean from the front. So, from the front, you look at him and you go, he's going to win the show. It's going to be very hard for someone to beat. And then from the back, it seems like it's not as lean as the front. What do you think is happening? And that's not something that's happening just to him. It happens with other bodybuilders as
Happened
well.
Happened with me. So, one of the big mistakes that I made is I chased the champion instead of realize that I was a champion and I had a champion physique. So what I did, and what I mean by that is I chased after Ronnie. I chased after Dorian. They were bigger than I was. They weighed more than I was. They had more muscle than I did. So I felt right to be able to beat those men. I need to have more of what they have instead of understanding. I just need to have more of what I have. Right. So better is better. Bigger isn't better. Better is better. So the mistake I made is I should have always told myself, because like you, Mohammed, my front comes in immaculate. My back is always striated. I can be down there 298 pounds. My back can still be striated, and my quads will still be striated. But my hamstrings will be weak. My glutes will be weak. So my frontal will come in immediately, right? Abs, chest, shoulders, your quads, all that stuff.
It's like just natural like that.
Yeah. So what I should have told myself is, and my advice to you is don't judge yourself on your front. Only look at your weak and your struggling body type. So if your back, your glutes, your hamstrings are not in shape, identify to that and say, I'm not in shape yet, right? What I would do, my front would come in so immaculate, my back, my rear would get so close, I'd be like, nobody's going to be able to beat this. But what I should have said is, beat myself and get better than I was before. So all I'm going to tell you, and my only advice to you is, don't look at your frontal at all. Turn around, and until that is in detail, you're not in shape yet, right? Because it's not about how good certain body parts are. It's about having the best condition overall from the front, back, top to bottom.
Very cool. Yeah, that's interesting because that happens with a lot of competitors. Now, Mohammed, you placed at the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia in 2021. And obviously, that's something that most people do not accomplish in a bodybuilding world, to be 10 of the best bodybuilders. This lineup is a lot stronger than 2021. A lot stronger.
Yeah. A lot stronger.
Are you still projecting yourself into a possible first or second call out top 10?
Yeah. What I did now, like I did what the Felix said. Like I look at myself from the back, and my back is more conditioned than my front. And this is the first time I have this. Like you remember, Terrick, when I asked you for the feedback, and you said just you need to like matching your back with your front, and this is what happened. I don't look at the front at all. I work very hard on my back, on my hamstring, on my glutes. Every day I did too much different than like I changed everything. I changed all my exercise. I changed like everything. I go gym like almost 3 times a day. Like I training very hard. I just to work to matching my back with my front. I already have like good symmetry. I have a small waist. I have like everything is there. I just to work hard. I work different now. This is what I did. I beat my last look for the last show, and this is all. This is my job.
Well, let me tell you one thing, Mohammed. If I had quads like this, I would be walking in my underwear to go to the mall.
Hey, Terrick, or do like we did back in the 90s, just wear tights, your tights, your hot skin with no underwear on. That's what we used to do.
A lot of times I thought about, how when somebody has legs, big legs, and it could be a little bit even unproportioned, like Branch Warren, Tom Platz, but when somebody has legs, it just gives the physique a certain density that is incredible. And Mohammed Shaaban, for me, is known for these quads that just come out to the side and they make the waist look small. I mean, what do you do for quads? Do you do squats, leg press? Are you a conservative guy, or do you do anything different?
No, before when I start training legs, I just do squat. I love to do squat. And also I love to training legs. I don't know why. I don't like to training arm, but I can train legs every day. I love this. I don't know why, but this is what happened.
Yeah. When a guy loves to train legs, he's a little strange, right, Flex?
Right.
I love training. I couldn't stand training arms because it came so easy, right? So I would train arms almost like maybe once a month or skip them a couple of. It would be so boring because after a couple of sets, they're already pumped. But man, I love training legs. It was just nothing like it. Nothing like walking and having your legs just clank against each other.
Yeah.
You sit down, you're like, oh,
No, and the feeling after training, like sometimes I can't walk, sometimes I can't just get down from the car. If I just eat and I sit a little bit, I have cramp. But I love this feeling.
Yeah.
That's meaning I work.
That's very cool. Very cool. A true purist bodybuilder, Tonio Burton. Tonio, I vividly remember you because you're one of the few athletes to actually earn your registration for the USAs. You won a overall at a regional show in Nevada, and we got the letter from the promoter that he was going to pay for your registration at the USAs. And you made the best of it, but I vividly remember you had the battle of your life in that light heavy because I can't remember his name. I've known him for years. He went on to win the overall at the North Americans after placing second to you, correct?
Yeah, Michael Cleaves.
Yes. He's from Palm Springs. So huge battle. Talk to me about that moment where you're turning pro and you're battling a guy that eventually 2 weeks later win the overall at the North Americans, but you beat him at the USAs.
Going into USA's, I was nervous. I remember talking to my coach about it and going through all the athletes who are doing it, like checking out their progress and seeing where they were at, comparing myself. I was going crazy. And I remember going to check-ins, and when you guys were giving us the speech before the show, they said, if we choose you to win your pro card, we expect you to do big things. And when you guys weigh in, you're weighing in front of everybody. So either you're going to be scared after this moment, or you're going to, rise to the occasion and show out. And when that was said, that's when, the light switch flipped. So we weighed in, whatnot. And then leading into the show, you made you on stage. I remember everyone was backstage surrounding Cleaves, like just talking them up, him, Nick Walker, just surrounding these guys. And I'm like, man, like this show's theirs already. Everybody's a fan of them. Other competitors were like around these people. No one's pumping up. They're just all talking. And I remember walking out on stage and they moved me to the middle. And, I got excited. I'm like, okay, yeah. And then right after they moved me, before they called the next pose, they moved him. I was like, oh, shit. But, we, did our transitions and everything. We stayed, no one else moved. They called us off. And after prejudging, going to the crowd, and one of my good friends was there, Danny, and he's with me because my coach couldn't make it, and I had my lady with me, and the owner from a gym in Reno actually came up to me, and he goes, "You look good, but you're not going to win." I was kind of like, what? I think he's joking with me. He goes, the other guy next to you, he plays second to Derek Lunsford, he's going to win. And I didn't even know that. So now I'm like in my head again. I'm down. We get back to our room, and my lady, she takes my phone from me. She goes, "Stay off the internet because everyone's making their predictions." So she takes that from me, and I'm trying to calm my anxiety. So I start watching Hey Arnold. Went back to my childhood, start watching cartoons, to get back in to get my nerves down. And then my coach was checking in on me, making sure I was good or whatnot. We come back for finals, and he told me, he was like, "It's not going to be easy." Told me about Michael Cleves, who he was, and he said it's going to be a dogfight. He's like, so you can't just give it to him. You got to, show you belong there. And so we went back out there. I bumped elbows with a few people, but I stood my ground. It felt good, especially when they called out the lineup and giving out the awards, and hearing my name last for the pro card was mind blowing. Like, just like Charles was saying, he lost a family member, and that put him on to bodybuilding to go harder. It was the same with me, my little brother, and then right after my little brother, I lost my best friend. And they would always brag about how big I was getting and how I was starting to bodybuild. So getting in that moment was like me giving back to them. I didn't waste my life.
Oh, sorry. How long you need to do it? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I didn't, have the opportunity to continue to do it and live my life. I didn't waste it. Theirs was taken from them. They couldn't do the things they wanted to do. So I feel like this was me giving them back.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I had the opportunity to judge the Olympia, judge the Arnold, and watch you guys winning pro shows. But for some reason, the emotion that some of you guys have when you win your pro card is incredible. And on that day, you and Michael Cleves was some of the best battles. Actually, when Charles was competing, he had an amazing battle against Cody Montgomery and Gerald Williams. Those guys, too, they had an amazing battle. And that battle between you and Michael Cleves is going to go to the ages. Now, moving on, let's fast forward. When you place third place at the Cow, that was your best showing and your best placing to that date, correct?
Yes.
How did you feel going against Mohammed Shaaban? The guy has small legs. Charles Griffen is very mild-tempered on stage. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to win the show. How did it feel to be around between these two guys?
It felt good. I remember at check-ins, I seen Charles. I sat next to him, and right away I was like, "Hey, can we get a picture?"
Yeah.
But getting on stage with him and even being backstage with him, it felt great. Like to be a part, to be able to stand on stage with him. And then when we're on stage, I remember we all did our individual poses. We came back around, and Charles actually looked back at me. He said, "Hey," he said, "212." He's like, "You're done with that." He's like, "You're open."
Yeah.
So that felt good. It's like that welcome to open. So
I got one thing to say.
Welcome in.
Hey, you need to be done with that little ass shirt you got on too. Hey, golly, he over there wearing a wetsuit, man. Golly, I'm looking like you ain't got no circulation on them motherfuckers right now.
I told you I just pushed him before I got on.
He just warm up before go live.
Yeah, he got a condom on, it looks like, man. Look, his veins are all like choked out. It's like they're like screaming and stuff. They're like,
oh man.
Yeah. You're intimidating us with your arms right now, brother.
Looking like Mr. Bubble. Looking like Mr. Bubble up over there, man. Good grief.
Now, Tonio, you placed third at the Cal, and then you go to the Legion Sports Festival. You are not the favorite to win that show. People put you on the list, and they go, "Well, Tonio Burton, he's coming up," but you are not the favorite. Justin was the favorite to win that show, and he did not have a good experience with you on stage on that date. Talk to me about beating Justin at the Legion Sports Festival and making it to the Mr. Olympia.
Well, didn't you do wasn't Chicago before that though?
Yeah, I did Orlando Pro, then Chicago, and then Legion.
Yeah.
Where did you place in Orlando and Chicago?
Orlando, I was 5th. In Chicago, I got 2nd to Antoine.
Antoine Vaillant.
Uh-huh.
When you saw Justin's name going to the Legion Sports Festival, he had already been to the Olympia. He already placed top 10 at the Olympia. Did you think you could beat a bigger guy at that point of your life?
You know, honestly, this time coming into Legion this time, I didn't think about other competitors. Just like, you know, they were saying, I brought the better me. And it came to, if Justin brings, you know, the better him and I bring the better me, who's better is better. So it was nerves were up high. It's still mind blowing to know that, you know, I was able to compete with Justin and come out on top. But even when he was in Reno, we were talking the whole time. I met him a few times at the gym. We had a little bit of a lift, and I was on his YouTube channel a little bit as well. So we were talking a lot, hanging around each other a lot. But like, if you notice with me, I stay quiet because I like to listen, especially to, you know, the ones who's done it and are doing it, because I like to learn. So, you know, Justin, I was picking his brain as well when he was here in Reno. And just like we said in Chicago when I got second against Antoine, you know, the energy he brought to that show was crazy. Like, I felt like no one had a chance because of his energy, bro. So I was like, Legion comes, it's time for me to turn up too. And so when he came out, it was game over from the start.
Now, Flex, looking at this picture, you can tell that Tonio is more conditioned than Justin. Justin, a bigger bodybuilder, but clearly Tonio is a little bit bigger. But I want to talk to you about posing. If I were to look at Tonio, I think he can still drop down a little bit more his elbows, right?
Yeah,
Make himself a little bit bigger. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, and I just noticed the same thing when you did your double bicep there on camera. What you do is you pull your elbows back. That doesn't allow you to engage your trapezius. So because your elbows are pushed backwards so much, it's taken away from your lat expansion. So bring your elbows down just a tad bit, and then also bring your arms forward. You can engage your lats more. So kind of like from a lat spread, right? When we're doing a lat spread, we don't push back. We bring up and push forward because it engages the lats. If you mentally understand that, do the same thing when you're doing your double bicep. It's an expansion pose, not a contraction pose. So even when a lot of people are doing a rear double bicep, they squeeze backwards. I mean, they squeeze forward so much as if they're doing a frontal pose, but it's a contraction pose. So you got to understand what's a contraction pose and what's an expansion pose. A front double bicep is an expansion pose. You're expanding. So you don't want to pull back. You want to pull forward.
Yeah.
So, you know, like when you're doing a pull down, do you pull down this way or do you pull down this way? Why?
Right.
Because it engages the lats. So when you go like this from a front double bicep, you're disengaging the lats. When you turn that elbow inward and bring it forward, it engages those lats. That'd be a huge difference on you because you're a wide person already. And I can tell, and even from your question, Terrick, I knew what you were going to say because I've seen that you've seen it also. Same thing.
Well, Flex, didn't we just do a live and somebody else had the same thing? Who was it?
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to think. Who was that? Crap. Yeah, it was last week when we did that live. It was the exact same thing. And we discussed
James Hollins had, or maybe not, but it was somebody that we just did a live and he was posing too close down and he needed to open up. Yeah, but I can't remember right now, but that's one thing. You know, if you just pose a little bit more open, you should get together with Flex, and Flex would fix you up real quick.
Even looking at that pose, so look at the young man next to you. If you can pull that pose back up, see how his elbows are forward, and see how yours are like pinched backwards. Right. See how his lats are coming all the way down. It's not that he's wider than you. Your lat development is more muscular than his, but because of position. So again, it doesn't matter how great you look if you can't display that, right? I mean, we go in the gym, we diet, we go through all this hell to get in great condition, but we spend none of the work on the art part of it. If you can't artistically show your body greater than that person next to you, it doesn't matter. You can be in 100% and a horrible poser, and a guy can be like 90%, but he's an amazing display, right? He knows how to artistically show his strengths and hide his weakness. He's going to demolish you. He's going to play games with you. So it's more than just bodybuilding as far as in the gym. Why spend all these months and years and then artistically not be able to show your hard work. That don't make no damn sense at all to me.
But you,
Don't make a
but you,
damn
the,
sense at all.
but you're the legend of this on the stage. We are,
But you know what? Because
we,
I came
we,
from,
we
yeah,
try
you
to
know,
be
but
like you.
thank you, but I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
truly not. I just was, I was blessed to be able to compete against some of the greatest posers in history. So I learned from Lee Labrada. My second pro show, I had to go up against Lee Labrada. My first pro show, I had to go up against Vince Taylor, which was number 3 in the world. So I was terrified of him, and he's a great poser. Now I'm standing on stage with Lee Labrada and Vince Taylor. You know, Lee Labrada is ranked number 2 in the world, and Lee is known as a statue artist, right? Greek goddess poser. And I was standing next to Robbie Robinson, and I was hiding behind Robbie because I was like, and looking at these legendary names, I'm saying, these guys are legends, not me. But I'm hiding behind the Black Prince, kneeling down because I'm exhausted. And I look at Robbie like, how does he do that? He goes, you know, Robbie's hardcore. He's like, how does he do what, Flex? I go, he just doesn't move. The guy's not breathing. He goes, I don't know, go ask him. So after the Honor Classic, I asked him, like, how do you do that? And he's like, how do I do what, Flex? I go, how do you pose like that, man? You don't get tired. You hit a pose, you set, you don't move. He goes, I practice. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you know how you go in the gym and you train every day? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, I go in the gym and I practice posing every day. And I'm like, huh, that makes sense. And I started going in the gym, and I would spend 6 days a week. I would spend posing. 5 weeks out from my show, I start posing in the posing room 6 days a week, and I'd spend over an hour in there with Rico and Chris just going over pose after pose after pose. And then I would get to the point where I would actually put a CD in, because back then it was the CD world, right? Wasn't no digital era. I would put a CD in like Mariah Carey or Luther Vandross, and I would literally pose to the entire CD. What that helps me to do is I can turn, I can twist, I can change my pose at any moment I want because I'm comfortable. It's all about it's all about engaging. It is all about transitions, but that helps you. So if you do an incredible pose, and all you gentlemen up here, you know, is the first time seeing you guys pictures, you guys all have some beef on you, right? So if you're doing a pose and the crowd really responds to it, but you got to grab that next beat because you're so locked in on your music, and you take away from that, you just cheated the crowd. So if the crowd is going nuts over pose, man, you want to hold that for another 1/10 of a second or 2/10 of a second. That'll change your beat. But if you're just, like rappers say, just ride that beat, grab it and ride it. So if you just get used to riding that beat, no matter what it is, then you can artistically display your physique. And that'll make a massive difference.
Yeah, you know, Flex, here's what's happening. People are talking about this Mr. Olympia. And actually, we have President Jim Mannion talking on Primetime Muscle.
Yeah, I've seen that.
1999 Mr. Olympia and the 2022 Mr. Olympia. And what we had to take in consideration is that at that time, we didn't know Ronnie Coleman was going to be a dynasty of 8 Mr. Olympias. We didn't know Dexter was going to win. Dexter placed 8th. He was going to be a Mr. Olympia. So we could be looking at guys that are placing 8th or 9th that eventually could win the Mr. Olympia. Now, looking at these guys, they do not have the hype behind them. Andrew Jack has the hype. You know, you got Blessing. He's got the hype. You got talking about, you know, Bonek just did an amazing performance. Actually, I just remembered it was William Bonek that we were talking about the posing.
It was William. You're right.
Yeah, it was William Bonek. Yeah. So same thing, Tonio, that we were telling you. We were talking about William Bonek, that he also needs to open up.
Got you.
Yeah, but if you're in their position, okay, and people are going to be expecting the guys with the hype, there's going to be a lot of eyes on some of these guys. If you are Mohammed Shaaban, Charles Griffen, and Tonio Burton, do you come in with a different strategy? Hey, I'm here and I'm here to make an impact, or you just do yourself and do not mind any of the noise?
The both things you said are the same. Do yourself, don't worry about the noise. Listen, you already talked about a gentleman that before, that none of these guys were fit to place, right? You talked about the USA, and some guy walked up to you, oh, he's going to win. He has a big name. Didn't win, did he? Didn't matter. You know, going against Vince Taylor, my first pro show in 1993 at the Ironman. Fortunately, I was just ignorant to the game. I didn't know nobody. I didn't know who the champions were, or else I would have been terrified. But did it matter that Vince was number 3 in the world? No, because the best person won, the judges felt. At the Arnold Classic, going up against the number 2 ranked Lee Labrada and Vince Taylor, did it matter that they were number 2 ranked and number 3? They could easily said, oh, geez, come on, man, this is Lee Labrada. He's an icon. He's a legend in the sport. He's ranked number 2. Flex is your second pro show. You can't win this. No, the best person won. So like I was saying to CG, be about your game, worry about you. Don't concern yourself about somebody else, because all they can do is throw you out of your game, right? So go in there, handle your business. Don't give a damn about nobody else or hype. Hype don't mean nothing. All hype can possibly do is set you up for a bigger fall. Hype means nothing when you didn't do that hard work. It's like they say, what is it? Hard work trumps talent when talent refuses to work hard. So it doesn't matter. Go in there, be about your game, be about yourself, believe in yourself, identify yourself as a champion on stage, display yourself as a champion. Not cocky, not arrogant, but I know I'm good. And I'm going to come out here and I'm going to show you guys, hey, man, how you doing, Andrew? Let's get it on. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up? You know, pleasant to meet you, Big Rami. 2-time Mr Olympia. Let's make it happen. I'm not afraid of you.
You just gave me goosebumps.
Come on, man.
Right?
For sure. Hey,
Man,
we're
I'm
men.
gonna work out today right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm all excited now.
Come on, man. Why would you be afraid? It ain't like it's a fight. And if it is a fight, you better not be scared either. But it is a fight, right? You're men on stage trying to be the best. It's a dog fight, man. And why wouldn't you not want a dog fight? I want this other person to be in the best shape they can possibly do. Then I want to crumble them. I want to double them over. I don't want them to have no excuses to say that, I wasn't in shape or I wasn't 100%. I want it to be a dog fight, man. And I want to be the victor on that. If not, I'll see you next time. You know what's coming. I ain't afraid of you. It's coming again. I hope you're going to be at your best as I'm going to be at mine.
Well, runner-up Natalia Coelho, she has a dog fight. She's here with us against Sarah Villegas. She was second place at the Olympia. She's here with us. Natalia, who's one of the best women's physique competitors in the world.
Yeah.
As she repeats here, champion mindset, right? Champion mindset, regardless. And let's see, hey from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Okay, guys, Mohammed, so we can finish the live here. I'll start with you. There's a huge expectation on what you can do. A lot of the Egyptian people, they look at you as the next big Rami, right? They count on you carrying the torch. Talk to us about this Mr. Olympia. How are you feeling? And what is your final projection a month away from the Olympia?
Actually, I will start from the back. I start bodybuilding in 2016. This is my first time I go on stage. I started training at 2015. That's why I doesn't care about everybody talking on social media or he have the hype. He doesn't have what I have. He doesn't have the same thing. Like everyone have his history. Everyone have his life. Is different. You need to be proud of yourself. I proud for what I did. For what I did. I don't care about these people. It's nothing about doesn't show respect. No, I respect to all what they did. But everybody try to be in the top 10. I'm already in the top 10. And why I waste my time to I won't be in the top, I won't move forward. This is the third time to be at Olympia. I stand next Big Rami. I stand next the big guys. Why I waste my time for the new people coming in? I respect what they did. Everybody working. I'm working too. You work hard. I'm working hard. Show me on the stage. After the stage, we all brothers. We all family. But this year at this Olympia, like what I told you at the beginning, I bring my better. I beat my last look. This is what. That's enough. For me, that's I did my work. I beat my last one. Look, this is only I don't care to beat Big Rami or to beat Charles or to beat Tony or to beat Andrew or to beat anyone. No, I need to beat myself.
Beautiful.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. I'm excited. Tonio Burton from Louisiana. You are not only representing yourself, but just like Charles, you have, someone you lost, and every time you step on stage, you feel like you carry that with you. You won the Legion Sports Festival. You were at the 212, Mr. Olympia, but now you are with the big boys. What's going on with you 30 days before going on that stage at the Zappos Theater?
Just like Mo was saying, bringing a better me. I feel like making it to the Olympia for Open, my first year in the Open, is a win for me already. The bonus is, me placing in the Olympia. Top 10 would be great. Like, that's what happened, when I was in 212. So to be able to do that in the Open, I mean, I'll be happy with that. My biggest thing that I look forward to is being able to stand next to all these other bodybuilders, these great names who's been doing it for a while, and these great athletes. But as far as, I got to get, top 5 or top 3 or anything like that, like I said, making it to Olympia was a win.
Well, congratulations. I did the Olympia news, and when you won, people went crazy in the internet. You displayed a great physique. You're the only guy in this planet that hits a front lat spread and has a 6-pack with it. It's quite impressive. It's quite impressive. Charles, the definition Griffen. Charles, you won the Cal Pro. Huge expectation. What's going on with you? What's the mindset in this last 29 days?
Man, 2018, I made it to Olympia. I was just happy and blessed to be there. You know what I mean? 2022, we come in and take some names out, plain and simple. I'm just going to be straight simple with it. You know what I mean? Like, all these guys that got the hype, got this, got that. I've been doing it just as long as them. I've been grinding just as long as them. Why not me? So I'm coming to bring it, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, this sport done so much for me. And, this was the first year. I honestly say this is the first year where I became a true believer in my physique. You know what I mean? I really became a true believer, and I was like, damn, that's me. Like, I actually look like that. You know what I mean? So this year, man, coming to Olympia, I'm coming to take some names out, those hype names out. I'm coming to bring that hard, nasty condition, and we about to just have a fun, have some fun. Man. It's on. I'm telling y'all, it's on. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, I'm on. Yeah, it's on. That's man.
Charles Griffen, national champion. He's the Cal Pro champion. He's going to take some names out. Mohammed Shaaban, he's the Toronto Pro champion. He's already top 10. Tonio Burton shocked the world at the Legion Sports Festival. He's also a Mr. USA's. And my great co-host, Flex. Go ahead, Charles. You have something else to say.
I just want to say, man, Flex, it's an honor, brother. It's an honor.
No, the honor is mine.
When they told me that I was doing a live with Flex on here, man, he said, "Are you available?" I canceled clients. Yes, I'm available. I will be just straight up real with Flex. Oh yeah, I'm available. 3 clients, I'm counseling all y'all. I don't care. I'm gonna be there. Do this live with Flex.
Where you from, Charles? CG?
I'm born and raised in Arizona, but I live in Minnesota now. So born and raised in
Listen,
Arizona.
for all 3 of you gentlemen, I'm looking forward to meeting you guys. Let me know. Hit me up privately if you guys want to go over any posing. But Terrick, I need to start coming to some more shows, man, to get to know these guys, because I had no idea because even I asked you, like, who's going to be on it with us, and then I tried to research and see who you guys are.
No, your memory is like down, brother. I come to you in the hospital. You remember when I come to you in Vegas in the hospital?
Yeah, I remember. But game recognized game, man. It's great to see that we have some incredible talent, some young blood coming into the sport, keeping it fresh. But Charles, it's an honor. Thank you so much, man. It's an honor being on here. Terrick, it's always an honor being on your co-host. Thank you very much.
Very cool, very cool. Guys, this is going to be one of the greatest Mr. Olympias of all times, 2022. Flex will be with me and Whitney Jones also. Whitney Jones and Flex Wheeler will be doing the interviews for Olympia TV. So if you get to Olympia TV, you're going to be interviewed by 2 of the greatest bodybuilders of all times. My name is Terrick El Guindy with the Mr. Olympia, and I will see you guys at the Zappos Theater. Thank you so much, gentlemen.